It happens in almost every close relationship. A conversation goes sideways, words land harder than intended, and suddenly you're sitting in heavy silence. This state of disconnection is often a byproduct of genuine closeness. It is a signal that the relationship matters enough for a conflict to feel significant. Most of us intend to fix things, but repairs often fail because we lack a specific sequence of steps to bridge the gap. Navigating out of that silence requires a reproducible process, a 5-stage framework that dictates the order of operations needed to de-escalate tension. Mastering this sequence allows you to use moments of withdrawal to build a connection that is more resilient than it was before the conflict began. Stage 1 is the pause. Repair attempts frequently collapse because they are initiated while emotions are still raw. When your nervous system is flooded with feeling, the brain is physically incapable of the logic and empathy required for a productive repair. You need time to regulate. You can protect the relationship while taking that time by saying, "I want to talk about this. I just need a moment first." Once you have paused, move to stage 2, reflect. This is a period of self-interrogation designed to prevent the conversation from devolving into defensive blaming. Start by asking yourself, what actually happened from my side, and what was I feeling or telling myself about the situation? Then consider what you needed but didn't get, and identify your specific contribution to the disconnection. These internal stages help you arrive at the eventual conversation with self-awareness rather than purely defensive reactions. Stage 3 is the return. Before diving into the details of the conflict, both parties must establish a willingness to engage. A return signal is a small, genuine gesture. It can be as simple as saying, "I want to work this out with you," or "This matters to me." Repairs often stall here because one partner misses a return signal that doesn't look the way they expected. It may be a small movement toward you rather than a formal apology. Recognizing and accepting these signals creates the necessary foundation for the actual repair conversation to begin. Stage 4 is the repair itself. This is a structured exchange with distinct roles and rules for both the speaker and the listener. As shown in this 4-step process, the speaker starts. Share your experience of what happened and what you needed using I language. Next, the listener must reflect back what they heard, without defending their own actions or arguing the facts. Third, both people offer your part. Each person honestly names what they contributed to the initial disconnection. Finally, both people state what repair looks like for them moving forward, expressing this as a need rather than a demand. If the listener begins to defend themselves during step 2, the process will likely revert to the initial state of disconnection. This rigid structure replaces the chaos of an emotional argument with an orderly exchange of needs and information. Stage 5 is Reconnect. An effective repair requires an intentional closing rather than just letting the conversation trail off. To close, each person should name one behavioral change they will make and one positive takeaway they have from the discussion. The final step is a physical or emotional marker of the return to baseline, such as eye contact, a touch on the arm, or a quiet moment together. The goal is to reach a sense of completion that confirms you are both back on the same team. Successfully executing a repair does more than restore the relationship. It actively builds a stronger, more resilient bond. Memorizing this sequence allows you to deploy it even during a hard week or at the end of an exhausting day. Remember the framework: pause, reflect, return, repair, reconnect. Conflict is an inevitable part of being close to someone, but you now have the tools to navigate it with more clarity and intention.